I think we're live. I don't know. Yeah, we are.
Right.
The
All
numbers are
right.
moving.
Right. So the new kitten is just living the life, huh?
Oh yeah, he is. Yeah, he is.
Just
I love him
eating,
so
sleeping.
much.
What happened?
I love him so much already. I really
Right.
do. It's disgusting. He gives the best kisses.
Aw. Yeah. It's like for a little while, we kind of thought that maybe that was the issue with Captain, that but it just turned but actually no, it's the opposite. He can't be with other cats. Like the
Oh no.
reason why we have him is, because he used to live with my sister, and he started picking fights with the other cats.
Yeah, he's a bully.
Well, kind of, yeah. And it's like, I don't know. So we took him because we kind of had a rat problem in the kitchen that calmed down once we had him in the house. But then it's like, so then I don't remember like the timeline, but there was another cat that Lorraine had brought over, and an elderly cat that it was just easier for us to take care of them together.
Right.
And Captain would fucking try to push him down the stairs. It's like, what the fuck? What are you doing?
Yeah, bully.
You know? I mean, really, it's like there would just be like, I don't know. It was just, I think like, the two cats were together first. Then Lorraine moved out, took all the cats, but then it's like after we had the rat problem, then we asked for Captain back. But the timing was perfect because he was picking on all the other cats in her house as well.
Oh, that's funny.
So so unfortunately he, even though he's like mouthy and screaming and constantly wants attention, we
Oh
can't
my god, I
get
love him.
another cat. Right, we can't get another cat because he just kind of like tries to push them downstairs and things.
He's so snuggly though.
Oh yeah, because yeah, he's a nuisance.
Oh, good morning, everyone.
uh,
It is May 23rd, 2025,
Jesus Christ,
in
I
the
can't.
year of our Lord.
I mean,
Whatever.
really, we're halfway already. I can't believe that.
Yeah.
It's to the Hague. To the Hague
But
with
it
you.
but it feels like we've been doing it forever. I swear to God, it feels
I mean,
2025 has been like 15 years already.
no, I know. It's like it's kind of like a start and I think it's like kind of, what is it, driving clutch?
I
Where
have
January
aged.
lasted 67 days.
Oh my God. Good morning, Glenn. Good morning, Lou.
Oh my goodness. Yes.
Oh
So
my God. You ready for this bullshit?
absolutely not. But hit it.
Oh, look at me. I'm delayed already. See,
Uh,
one vlog.
all
Fuck.
right.
Trigger warning, fuck you.
And fuck you.
Oh my God, it's felt like we haven't done this show in like months.
I know. And we like every time we leave,
Right.
we miss one show and we pop back in this fucking StreamYard and they've changed shit.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, but yeah, it's just been, I don't know, it's just been like really crazy trying to keep a schedule. Um it's like, I was gone for Baltimore. I think we were able to do one show,
I
and
had
then it's
all
like
my medical shit right before.
right, and then it's
Yeah,
like
it's
you
been
had, and
nuts.
then you lost your internet, your Wi-Fi. They were doing I mean,
I
it's
still don't know what they
no,
were doing.
hello, Glenn. Hello, Glenn. Hello, Melissa. Hello, Lou. Hello. Good grief. So so welcome everybody to another episode of the Ragin' to the Vlogs show. And yes, I see you. our beautiful eyeball people watching us from regions beyond. If you are joining us from Facebook, come on over to YouTube and join the sexy people in the chat. Keep them company. Facebook has a tendency to act up, and when it does, we can't see your comments. So if you want to make sure that we do see your comments, and keep the conversation going, keep the conversation real time, YouTube is the best place to do it. So, and while you're here, make sure you like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you get notified whenever any of our shows go live. Oh, by the way, have you ever noticed on some YouTube channels that when you're watching, you know, you cannot.
It's time to eat.
You're right. Oh, okay. so
I really
Nita,
was hoping you'd make an hour. Sorry.
Nita will be nursing on camera. You have to show the peoples.
The peoples. Come here, dude. Come here.
There we go.
Thank you. All right, we'll be quiet real quick.
Look,
All right,
there's two things that guarantees views on the vlogs. That's feet and kittens.
Oh, we are hungry.
So, there you go. So, what was I saying? Oh, yeah. You ever notice on some YouTube videos, like if you're watching, like if they say click subscribe or click the like button, all of a sudden those buttons like begin to sparkle.
Yeah.
Like all of a sudden it's like attention is brought to those buttons. And it's like I'm kind of wondering, it's like, does that happen on our vlogs?
I don't know.
If I say like hit the subscribe button or click the thumbs up, click the like, give us a like, does that like sparkle and shit on the screen?
I don't know.
Because sometimes I think I'm bugging out when I'm seeing some people's watching a vlog and all of a sudden stuff starts to animate like underneath the video, and it's like, I don't know. It was just weird because I noticed that the other day. Also, it's like, it has been raining for like the past like 4 days here.
Oh, nasty.
And the temperatures, like, it seems like we have like a cold front or something. So it's like we went from 70s, from really nice 70s to 40s. So it's like now the office can't decide whether it wants to be cold or it's hot, or then again, it might be just me. I can't decide,
too, but I think it's
whether I'm cold or hot.
Like I'm hot as hell back here, but it was freezing in the front. So
right,
everybody right now can't get comfortable.
Yeah, exactly. Cause I'm constantly turning on and off my fans because it's like, it's stuffy. I turn on the fan and it's like, oh my God, I'm freezing. And I have to shut it off. Oh my goodness. So, and of course, hold on. It's like, I knew I was forgetting something again.
Your cards.
I don't have my cue cards. Hold on. I need to get my cue cards. I can't function without my cue cards.
Can you pull up your media ones today?
My media ones? What do you mean?
Yeah, the Ego Raven card and stuff.
Oh, that's right. Your hands are full. That's right. So yeah, I can do that.
I feel you, Melissa. She's like, this weather is killing me and kicking my chronic pain into high gear. Right. Yes, indeed. My fucking hands and knees have been horrible.
Right. Well, it's like my joints have just been acting up late anyway because I started exercising again.
Oh no! What the fuck is wrong with you?
Audacity.
Are you okay?
Right. I know, right? And it's like, and then you know what the worst part is that I really do feel better afterwards. Horrific. Yeah. Absolutely horrific. To The Hague. Oh my goodness. So hello everyone. My name is Daphne Lage and I'm a cartoonist, illustrator, and comic book artist from New York. I have been publishing comics, self-publishing comics since 1992, and you know what that means. And I am known for my furry fantasy adventure Tall Tales and my medieval fantasy drama Eagle Raven, Heir of the First Unicorn. Again, thank you everybody who supported the campaign. I should be sending out. It just took me a week to put together just do a final pass on all the files, and I should be sending everything out today. So hopefully by the first week of June, I will start fulfilling all the rewards for the campaign. So thank you very much for that. And in the meantime, you can read both my comics at eagleworks.com and Tall Tales, TAILS online.com. And you can check out all my videos on how I make my comics here on YouTube at my channel at Daphne Lage, Lage Art, which also simulcasts through the Indie Comics Network. And to tell you more about it is Cat Mommy.
Yeah, right. So my name is Nina Lanning, and I own the Google account that runs the Indie Comics Network on YouTube. You can find us at Indie Comics Net pretty much anywhere, and we talk about comics and stuff.
Right.
Dude, he has gotten so big just since I got him. This is like in a week's fucking growth. Like his ears were kind of like still folded like last week and shit. It's crazy. It's like a fucking growth spurt. It's like I'm gonna be a monster. Monster kitty.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. So aside from the kitten, what's been, or has the kitten just been monopolizing your time?
The kitten has been monopolized. It's getting better though now that it's not like I just started him on some solid food yesterday, little like tablespoons of kibble, and so we'll see how that goes, and hopefully that means he'll start weaning himself this week, next week.
Okay.
So, and if not, he can nurse a little while longer. He'll just have to eat he'll have to eat the kibble at night because I'm done with the waking up.
Oh yeah.
Like, bro, we did this. Like we did this already, but and work. So much work stuff. There's like so much going on with Ethereal, and then Rob's getting ready for some more books to come out, and it's always, how we talk about it being feast or famine. It's been feast for me, and I'm very lucky and very blessed to have the amount of work that I've been getting lately, because it's like, I'm balling.
That's the joy of freelance.
Right. We'll be eating ramen next month, but this month we had lobsters and steak.
Yeah, another crawfish boil, right? Oh my goodness. Yeah, no, I've been like really, really busy. It's like so many, like, I don't know, it just seems like there's just like a lot going on since I got back. So it's like I've just been putting together like the list of all the stuff that I have to get made for the Eagle Raven campaign, and just send, and I have to make sure I send everything out today. I just figured also that I'd wait, also until the pledges are finalized, which is because not the payment. What it is that the numbers, if I check my numbers like after the campaign ends, it also counts the pledges from the people whose, I guess, like credit cards didn't go through, and it still counts them until, I guess, like it's supposed to like finalize today. So anybody, like if you pledge the campaign and you're having an issue with your credit card, you have to get it done today. Right now, you're considered errored pledge. I think by later on today, it'll be finalized as dropped. So so if you have to update your payment information, you have to do that, I think, like in the next hour, because I think it kind of like coincides with when the campaign ends. So I'm assuming in about an hour they're going to finalize it, and then it'll update my numbers, and then I'll know exactly how many books I should order, because it's like I really don't want to pay for extras if I don't need to.
Right.
Space is limited, so I have to keep my inventory really tight. So So yes, if I don't have to, yes, I don't have to buy, like books that I don't need. I'm not going to.
Right.
And then it's like there's all these other ancillary things that I have to consider. Like I have to buy boxes today. I have to decide if I'm going to buy, because I'm very low on volume 2 trade paperback, so I have to figure that out, whether like how many I should buy, on top of that, or whether I should wait for the next campaign. So the postcard I'm going to be printing. I'm thinking of printing an extra bookmark, maybe. I'm not sure. And and it's just figuring out, like, okay, what am I going to commit to? What am I going to save for the next campaign? And then just kind of like figure out the logistics from there. But the most important things, the books and the postcards and the boxes, I have to do today. I have to order today. So, also, I'm also in kind of an awkward situation, because an opportunity might have popped up that might force me to push back issue 11.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So, but I'm not sure. I'm still working on issue 11 as if everything is still on schedule. And even then, I'm still trying. I'm still playing around with the idea that it's like, could I do both these things at the same time? I'm not going to say what the other project is until we're committed to it. But I've been doing some test runs.
Did you say until we're committed to it?
Oh, me and Jose.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, awesome.
So we're just testing a few things, but right now, but I'm not sure it's gonna happen, but I want to be ready if it does.
I hope it does.
So if this happens, I might have to push Eagle Raven 11 back, which I'm not happy about. But at least this project might make it worth it. But at the same time, like if I could do both at the same time and still release 11 on the schedule that I have, I'd rather do that. So Rob and Jose JD had a show on Tuesday where we kind of talked a little bit about this, and but I wanted to get kind of like more opinions on it, because like I said, I don't like the idea of pushing my campaign back, because I have very specific books I want to accomplish, I want to get out this year.
Right.
And I want to keep that schedule, or at least I want to keep those releases. But so, all right. So if I have to push back issue 11, right? I had two options, right? So I could either still release it, but maybe like a month closer to when I want to release issue 12. Because I really, really, really want to have 11 and 12 done this year.
Right.
So that I can start 2026. Jesus Christ, that doesn't sound real. 2026 with the volume 3 paperback.
Right.
So the question that I'm wondering is that, how close do you think like 2 consecutive issues should be that people will still buy each issue, or without feeling like, oh, I might as well wait for one or the other? Like,
no, they're not going to do that because they're missing pivotal moments in the story.
Right.
When it's floppies, I wouldn't worry about it. I watch people put them out back to back all the time.
Oh yeah, so that like, so if I were like to do, like, if for some reason I had to push it to like August or September, right? And then like do the campaign for 11 in September and then do the campaign for 12 in October.
Right. Go for it.
Just so you don't think that would make, because the other option that I had was to put both books on the same campaign, but everyone's telling me that's not a good idea.
Don't do that. Don't do that. Run them back to back. You'll be fine.
Yeah, because
and that's if you even have to. You don't even know that yet.
Well, that's true. I don't know. I'm just kind of like.
But if you had to choose between those two options, I would run them back to back. I would not run them together.
Yeah,
you're going to take a cut if you run them together,
which is ironic.
I know.
You know, that really is, you know, kind of like strange how that works. That you would that I would make more money doing back to back than running them both on one campaign.
Right.
Like it's literally like I
don't understand the science behind it.
Right.
I just know what it is.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Also the other thing too that I was kind of wondering, right, is whether I should open up a separate account for House of Bob. Because since House of Bob and Eagle Raven, they don't have overlapping. I mean, there's some people that do, but not by much. Because then it's like, I feel like if I had a separate account for House of Bob, I could just run House of Bob whenever I felt like it. Back to back and whole thing. You know what's funny is that Kickstarter. Okay, I guess we might as well just talk a little bit about this too. Is that Kickstarter has now launched their own, I guess, like pledge manager,
right?
Where that wouldn't make any sense either. Where it's like, where shipping would be calculated after the campaign, not during.
I've always hated that.
Right. I mean, I would rather just leave the shipping. I mean, honestly, it's like I've never the shipping's never been an issue for me, calculating the shipping, and pretty much the shipping that I offer is pretty on point to when I actually ship them out, so I don't have to worry. I mean, but how would I
don't know how you would do that, because
what like if you pledge to issue 11 to not ship it until issue 12?
So you could do that if you scheduled the shipping dates to be the same. The thing is you're going to have to make sure that with issue 11 you set that Kickstarter date to when 12 will be being shipped out to.
Right. Yeah.
You because if you don't, you're going to have to be answering backers or whatever. Whereas if you set the date from go, it'll be understandable. People know.
But then again, how would I organize? Like, how would I collect the shipping? Like, so I would collect the shipping on issue 11, but then I would have to cross-reference with.
Fuck. Yeah. I don't know how to do that.
Because then it's like the new people. Yeah, it's like, how would that?
Yeah, because new pledges, like. No, I don't know how you do that without it being chaotic as fuck.
Right, yeah.
I mean, there's ways, but it's going to be a lot of extra fucking work.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm trying to avoid. So, unfortunately, I think I would just have to run it like regular campaigns. Oh, and here's also another thing too. Yeah, I think it might be too much. Like Jose was saying that what I should do is run issue 11 as a 2-week campaign. But it depends on how close I am to issue 12 when I run it. Yeah, I'm not. I don't know if I'm liking that idea either. I think. Yeah.
Don't.
Yeah.
I love these guys, but these short campaigns, like you could talk about, you made the same or whatever.
Right.
For each pay period you have in your campaign that you decide not to run, and I'm not saying go do these 6 to 8 to 24 week campaigns or anything.
Right.
Like
Yeah.
But I'm saying stick to the 4, please, guys.
Right. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I mean, I'll try to keep it as normal as possible. It's just that maybe
28 to 32 days.
Yeah. that so yeah, so like if worse, like okay, I run 11 in August and 12 in October,
Right.
or something, and just like it'll just be close,
Right. I think you'll be fine that way.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, it just because but like I said, it all depends on whether this project, this other thing is, we might get that. So I don't know what you're imagining. I'll talk more about this after, like
I really hope it's what I'm thinking it is.
I don't think so.
Oh, you don't?
I don't think right, yeah. But we can discuss more in detail because, like I said,
Okay.
I don't want to mention
Right.
what it is on the air until it's confirmed or not confirmed. And even if it's not confirmed, it's a type of project that I won't mention it. If I don't get it, I don't get it, and that's it. But I'm not going to talk about it either. So yeah, so that was one thing. Another thing too that so so if you missed the Tuesday show of Mice and Wolves, so the question that I had brought up, that again, it's like I wanted to like get everybody's opinions, more opinions on it, right? So, we've talked about, or at least we've heard the advice tossed around that, like when you do a Kickstarter, and I know that we've talked about it, that when you do a Kickstarter, when you do, it should be an event book. Like I remember a while ago, we were talking about how I think the mistake that I make with my campaigns is that I kind of try to have high expectations for all of my campaigns when that's not realistic.
Right.
When really like the event books should be the trade paperbacks. Like those are the ones that should have like the special covers or special items and, or something, and keep the floppies like simpler, the campaigns for that simpler. But but the thing is though, I kind of like, I don't know, like the word event just kind of feels weird saying that, that a Kickstarter should be an event. And I've heard people say that's like, oh yeah, when you go to a convention, you have to make that an event, and it's like, so it's kind of like a word I never really thought about. And that's kind of the problem with a lot of advice that floats around, that sometimes we end up repeating advice that without understanding what it is that we're repeating. Like it's kind of like we don't really like think about what it is the advice is saying. Like we say, oh, that sounds like a good idea, and then we start saying the word, like the word event, and then I go, wait a minute, it's like, no, it's like the trade paperback is not an event. It's just a Kickstarter that I'm just making that I'm just offering a little bit more, on it because it is,
what it is,
a milestone book. I think a trade paperback is a milestone book for a series.
Right.
But it's not an event.
An event is your movie premiere.
Right. Like the Met Gala, right? The Met Gala is an event, right? A Kickstarter is just a Kickstarter, right? And it was the same thing with the whole thing. Like there were certain people who says, oh yeah, when you go to a convention, you have to make it an event. And again, I didn't like really critically think about the advice until recently. And I go, wait a minute, what does that even mean? Right. So I asked it on the show, like, what does an event, making a convention an event, mean? I keep hearing this advice, but I don't know what that means. And what was really funny was that everybody got kind of caught up on like, who's saying that? I've never heard that advice before. So now so now I'm thinking I'm crazy too.
No, you're not. You're not. You just got gaslit, Daphne.
It's like, what do you mean? Who told me? I keep
We've heard
hearing
that
this
several times.
How are you not hearing this? I'm hearing this all the time. You gotta make it an event. You gotta make it an event. And I'm still all for the after party, right? Well, you see, that's the funny thing, right? Because pretty much that nobody could answer, like nobody understood, yeah, it's kind of a silly thing to say about a convention because the convention itself is an event. Right. I mean, because I'm thinking more about Baltimore Comic-Con, right? So I'm preparing for Baltimore. And, and like the one thing that I really, really rethought about going to Baltimore is how my table looks. And I put a lot of deliberate thought into how my display is going to look this year. It's pretty much, I'm taking the same thing that I did the last time I was at Baltimore, but what I did was I made the design of the table more brand cohesive. So it's like you're not going to have it's going to look more like, yeah, the after party is the second event, right? So but the thing is, though, it's like what am I going to do at the table, that's going to be any different than how I'm always at the table? And the thing is,
confetti, motherfucker.
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah, and it's like, yeah, and they were talking, I think someone had brought up an after party, and I go, yeah, I've seen people do that. That's the event that they create. It's like Sam, back in the day, he used to run after parties for New York Comic-Con. He would rent out one of the nearby pubs and then do a New York Comic-Con after party there. So it's like, okay, so there's this event, right? But but the thing is, though, is what's the event at the table, right? And I forgot who had mentioned it, but they were talking about George, that what George does at conventions, that he has his spinning wheel. Right. And it's like, and it's like, and I remember George saying that just having the spinning wheel on the table has people coming up asking just to spin it. It's kind of like, I don't know, it was kind of like a compulsion. Even he was a little surprised by it. But, but the prizes were really, minor, oh, you get a trading card or a fist bump, or he'll take a photo with you, right? The event within the event, right? Right. And and it's like, and they were saying, well, that was George kind of making coming to his table an event, and especially if you can kind of take the spinning wheel idea, and it's like, and it's like, oh, it's like if you, oh, if you sign up for my mailing list, you can get a free spin on the wheel and win a prize or something.
Right.
And, and it's like, okay, all right. So that's something. It's kind of like, maybe what they mean is that your table has some kind of interactivity with the people in the show, but again, would you really call that an event? The show is the event,
right?
So maybe the actual the thing is, okay, it's like something that kind of forces engagement, they were also talking about, Rob had brought up how Visenia, that when she goes to a convention, she sometimes does it in costume or in some sort of costume. And it's like, well, it's like, I haven't done that in years, but it's like, I don't even know if I fit in my costumes anymore,
find out and send me pictures.
Right. I mean, yeah, I still have the costumes and everything. And it's like, yeah, I haven't done that in a while. It's like, sure, if I could fit in one, I could bring it. I mean, it would also fit the theme of the table. So it's like, okay, I can do that too. I mean, I would think that maybe, because I see that a lot of anime shows too, where vendors are in cosplay. They're doing cosplay at their artist alley table. And I don't know. I kind of wonder. It's like, I don't know. It's like maybe that kind of like breaks that barrier a bit. Like if you're in costume, you look less like a vendor.
I'm going to agree with C on that one.
Is that an event or a gimmick? Right. Gimmick. Yeah. See, that's the thing too, because it's like, yeah, hey, yeah, for everybody. Does cons and costume too. Yeah, it's like, so it's like, are they really? Yeah, are they? That what C is right. It's like, is that really an event or is that a gimmick? Right? Is that really a gimmick? That's a gimmick on the table, right? But again, I think
these kids are not having galas for their fucking comic book releases.
Yeah, exactly.
They're adding fancy stretch goals.
Right. Well, you know what it is? But here's the thing, not for nothing though. When you go to San Diego Comic-Con, the big booths, the big companies, they make it an event. You see, that's how I understand.
You have $1 million goddamn dollars to fucking.
Yeah, exactly. When you have like several $1,000s to put into a custom booth, that has like character photo ops and and then it's like it's like previews and the fucking Millennium Falcon. I think one year, no, it was an X-Wing. It's like the Lucasfilm booth had like a life-size.
Can I just hire a booth, babe?
Yeah, it's like, well, that was back in the day too. Before a lot of conventions nixed that because what it is was that it was just turning the convention very pornographic, I guess, because it's like, when you have, booths hiring women to walk around in like little tiny bikinis and a thong, handing out postcards, and you happen to be the family friendly book next to them. It's not a good look. It's not a good look at all. And we've seen people avoid entire rows because of booth babes. So, it's, so yeah, so that was like, so a lot of shows don't allow them anymore. But that's been for a while. So yeah, so it's like there was one year at San Diego Comic-Con where the LucasArts booth had an actual X-Wing, and that and people and it's like that was the event, but it's like for small schmucks like us, like yeah, it's like our event gets shrunk down to a gimmick, right? That it's like, oh, what do we do, right? So so yeah, so I was just kind of like thinking about that it's like, oh, like maybe I should like check, because I don't know if I could, because as much as I like the spinner wheel thing, also there was also another thing that I saw at anime conventions that that people were doing that I think is kind of in a similar vein, gimmick / event at the table. A lot of anime, a lot of anime shows, a lot of artists in the artist alley, they're now bringing like gachapon machines, and they have like, and usually they have like stickers or exclusive pins in the gachapon. And the idea is that you either buy a token to use the gachapon, it's like, and then it's like, it's just like, and then you use the gachapon, and then and people love just like turning those things. And so what a gachapon is kind of like a vending machine, but like everything's random inside. It's like they used to have in front of the supermarkets, for $0.25 you get the little ball with the sticker in it, or the little like jelly hand that stick to walls. So they would have a version of that, and they would sell turns on the gachapon machine. And I've seen people do kind of like a variation of it, which maybe this might be something that might be worth it for me to do, where it's kind of like they have like, didn't we talk about this? It's like a mystery box where with this, except I think we were talking about zines, right? Zines in a mystery box. And then it's like, okay, if you sign up for my mailing list, you can stick your hand in the box and you can pick a prize.
Stick my hand in the box.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. This is beginning to sound familiar. This conversation. Except I think we were talking.
Oh wait, deja vu, bitches.
Yeah, I think we were talking about zines in a box. And then it's like, maybe you get like a little zine, but that would require a lot of planning. But something like maybe I could like I have so many trading cards, like get a free trading card, but it's it's kind of like a mystery box.
Do the most random shit, but just put everything in there. Fucking leftover keychain stickers, what the fuck ever, man.
Right, and you can just like pick something out of the box.
Right.
It's like, oh yeah, sign up for my mailing list. Maybe that's right. So
I like it.
Yeah, I think I should try that. I should probably kind of like go through my stuff and see like, you can, I don't know, it's like you get a pin or maybe there's like, well, there's a zine in there that you can get a free trade paperback or something and, download the PDF. I don't know. I mean, yeah,
go all digital with this shit.
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
Fucking just do double business cards with 2 QR codes. Cut them fuckers in half, and you get a free issue.
Right. Oh, that's a good idea. Yeah.
Like save your ass money.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Oh, you know what it is? I wish that I knew how to make those little stars. Like how you see people
origami stars?
Yeah, and then have kind of like fortune cookies. Oh my god. I couldn't even is that legal for me to do?
Dude,
have fortune cookies in the show? Is that legal?
Why not? Why not?
Just get fortune cookies and then put like QR codes inside of them. And then it's like, or kind of like, like the hollow Easter eggs. And then it's, that would work. And then, because then it's like you could put a sticker in it or a QR code for a free book.
Right.
Oh, that might work.
Right.
Have a pin in there, maybe. Yeah. So probably that's sign up for my mailing list and you get a free chance. You get to pick an egg. Oh, you know what? I don't even have to have a box, right? I could just have no. It's like no, because if I use the eggs, if I get like the Easter eggs, which I'm pretty sure I could find on Amazon, and then have it like in a little display on, so it's like, like a nest.
No, you make a fucking gimmick out of it. You invest a little bit of money into a fucking nickel gumball machine.
Right, that's what we were talking about. Yeah.
And fucking let them come up to the table and they gotta fucking drop the fucking quarter in there to get the shit. And then look, if they buy something, great. If they don't, you gotta fucking quarter off them bitches. Because people are gonna stick a quarter in there to try to win something. They're
right. Yeah, it's just been I mean, it would be it would have to be something, because those machines are expensive though. Because I have looked into them, but I've seen people build their own out of cardboard.
Yeah, you could do that too.
So yeah, so maybe I could do that.
The old people fucking, what was it? Goddamn, where was that place that did fucking terrible haircuts for cheap and everybody went there?
Like
Fantastic Sam's, where they'd lock at the kid's hair and the fucking hairdresser would reach up there and knock a little prize down in the hole. Yeah, you could just be like, yeah, you know.
Right. It's like it would have to be something. Keep quarters strict. Yeah, no, yeah, I would have to. Yeah, but that's why like because I was mentioning that anime shows, a lot of artists, they have like gachapon machines are like huge.
Right.
Like they would have like either like kind of like a mystery. They would either get like refurbished gachapon machines, or those gumball machines. We sell dice in our gumball machines. It's nuts. It's a moneymaker. Oh, wow. Okay. Maybe I should look it up again as to how much those things cost.
Like, oh my God.
Um, and some of them would sell tokens. So it's like, oh, you can get like, I don't know, like 4 tokens. Yeah, 4 tokens for $1 or something. But or it's like, or a token is $1, and you can get, you can use the gachapon machine. It was something like that. So maybe that certainly clarifies it a bit. I would have to like look it up to see like what kind of little like hollow cases I can get, because there has to be different shapes than eggs.
Well, yeah, they have the little ones that are like the half oval with the little different colored lids on them.
Right. Yeah. Because I would want something solid though. Yeah, I would have to look it up on Amazon. So there we go. So okay, we're closer to figuring out this event / gimmick thing for the table. To
that's what I'm saying.
Find one used at a flea market. That's where we got ours. Yeah. Oh, that's true. Yeah, that's true. So I would have to kind of like look that up, because it would have to be, also keep a bag of change. We use the half oval. Okay. I would have to look that up. Yeah. Cause I just feel like, maybe I should like do something a little extra at the table for that. So let's see. It's like, what's funny is that
I mean,
this
it's the stripper pole, right?
Oh, yes, it does.
Or does it? Or does it?
But
I'm gonna be doing a little something different.
But what's funny, because there was another question that I kind of regretted not asking on the show. But the funny thing is that kind of figuring out this whole gachapon thing and realizing, oh shit, I could actually do that. You know what? Yeah, it's like, let's do that. Kind of put me in a better mood, because the question is kind of a downer. So it's like, I don't know if I want to ask that question or not, but I don't know, because because the other question that I had wanted to ask was, what was it? But this is, like I said, this is more of a serious question, where it's like, how do you reconcile purposefully not writing to market with the pressure of performing like you are? It's kind of a downer question, because it's like, when, because it's like, I don't, this brings up the other thing that I wanted to talk about, but this kind of sort of has nothing to do with comics. It does, but it doesn't. So so I came back from Monsterotica with that stack of books that I showed off on the last show, right? So I'm trying to get through all these books that I bought, especially the ones that I bought on Kickstarter, these romantasy books that I bought. And I'm going through one now. I don't want to mention the title, only because I don't quite remember what it is. Dragon Isle Wars, I think, something like that. It came highly recommended on TikTok, so when I saw it on Kickstarter, I bought it. Right. Now, romantasy is a very different genre than Monsterotica. Very different. I remember when publishing started introducing the concept of the new genre of romantasy. This was years ago. I probably like a decade ago, probably. And I remember that the big deal was that Mercedes Lackey was making she was writing the first book for this new genre of romantasy, which is pretty much a romance book that's a fantasy, or is it a fantasy book that's really a romance novel? So some of the books that I have bought off of Kickstarter is of that genre, that is romantasy genre, and I think I must have read like 4 or 5 of them in the last, since the beginning of the year. And I'm getting to a point where I'm beginning to think I really don't like this genre very much. Romantasy, not monster smut. Because here's the funny thing. I have yet to be disappointed by a smut book.
Right.
You know, even it's like, and I think that's because the expectations are set going in, right? Where it's like, look, it's like it's like whatever happens in this book is it's heading towards a very specific point. You know, and for some, and it's like, and what I like about it, the thing is, it's like, yeah, is it porn? Yes, it is. You know, because that's kind of the point.
We're
Yes,
classy.
but it's not like it's not like a wham bam, thank you, ma'am type of thing. It's a book for a reason.
No, that's okay sometimes too.
Well, that's okay too. But the thing is, though, these are books for a reason, and that's because the build up.
I read fast. Okay,
the build up is important to that main scene.
Right.
And it's like, if you don't do the build up correctly, it's look, the book,
it's
the rest of the book, foreplay. Exactly. If you don't get the foreplay right, then the main show it feels off somehow. And with the smut books, they get that correct. They get but I'm speaking seriously though. I'm actually giving a very serious critique right now.
I know it is killing me.
So I have yet. That's why it's like I didn't have a problem buying so many books that I did at Monsterotica, because I knew whichever book I bought, I'm going to get a book that's going to entertain me. Right. That I'm going to like these books, because like I said, I've yet to read one that kind of like that's kind of a letdown. With the romantasy ones, they're a little bit different.
Right.
You do, because you kind of like do get how am I going to explain this? The problem with the romantasy books that I've been reading is that they all feel like the authors really just want to write a fantasy novel, but because of the marketplace as it is right now, it feels like they're shoehorning in the relationship / sex in the books.
Well, that and everybody's idea of the ideal relationship, the ideal courtship and woo is a little different. But when it comes to the act of fucking, we're all raw at the end of the day, and you feel me?
Well, but the thing is, I think the thing that I'm getting at is that where the Monsterotica books are like I said, it's like they seem to know how to get from A to B to Z, in a way that's very satisfying. While with romantasy, it feels like I'm reading two books at the same time, and they don't really mesh well together.
Right.
Because you have like the fantasy elements, the fantasy book, like this book that I'm reading, Dragon Isle Wars. Like, I like it, but I like it as a fantasy novel. Like, honestly, I wish it was just a fantasy novel and didn't really have as much as the romantasy tropes in it.
Right.
Because the tropes feel a little shoehorned in, and it's almost like jarring when I hit those parts. Because it's almost like, because in a very strange way, like the romantasy parts kind of like pop up in like the weirdest places.
It feels forced.
Yeah,
where it's like sake of the market. Oh, well, it's an adult book, so it must have adult content in it.
Right, and it's not even like, it's kind of like how they're fighting. They're fighting they're being ambushed and by pirates, and in the middle of this fight scene, all of a sudden the main female character is thinking about how hot the villain is, who's not even there.
Oh gosh, she's not even there yet.
Right. And the same thing happens, like the main villain you know, who's supposed to be the love interest that she eventually, because that's the trope, it's enemies to lovers. So, you know, he's in the middle of a fight, and then in the middle of the fight, he's all of a sudden thinking about this woman who's supposed to be his enemy.
Yeah, that's forced.
You know, and it's like, what's funny was that it reminds me of a conversation that well, it reminds me of a comment that Jose told me about a Spider-Man issue that he had read a while ago, right? And he said that I don't even remember what even like why he brought this up. This was even before I was into these types of books. I guess it had just annoyed him so much that he had to talk about it. It was a Spider-Man issue. Spider-Man is fighting whoever the fuck he's fighting. And in the middle of the fight, he's like thinking about Mary Jane and how worried he is about her. And Jose goes, no guy would do that in the middle of a crisis situation like that. You know, it's like, you know, if you're fighting Green Goblin,
that's poor writing.
You know, it's like you're not going to all of a sudden stop your thinking to all of a sudden think about your girlfriend at home.
Right.
You know, it's like, you know, and for some reason that annoyed him. And it's like, I didn't really understand it until I was reading this book. And I'm like, oh, holy shit, it's the Spider-Man comment that Jose made. You know, so I'm kind of trying to get through this book. Like I said, I would have liked it better if it was just a fantasy that had romantic elements in it,
right,
as opposed to the whole romantasy forcing trope. You know, I don't know if I'm making myself clear. Like,
no, I get what you're saying.
Right. Like honestly, like, even though like for me, Eagle Raven's a fantasy first that has romantic scenes in it, but the scenes itself, they're part of a larger story. They're not the main thing.
Right.
Right. It's not like, you know, so what happened was that I ended up like kind of like feeling like a little nostalgic about the fantasy books that I used to read when I was younger. And I started, I went on eBay, and there was one particular book that I was trying to find, and I found it. And what's funny was that, so it's a 7-book series. It ended up to be 7 books. I only ever read the first volume, because I don't remember. I remember starting the second volume, but I don't remember finishing it for some reason. So, that's cute. So that's what it is.
It's cute.
Is there a way to make that larger, or it's just
no? Unfortunately, I can't figure it out. Like,
okay, so we're gonna have to figure that out, because that's nice to have on the screen.
Right.
It's like, imagine us saying, it's funny, we have a few books that we did because we wanted to for ourselves. At first, folks didn't get it, but when people started getting it, it took off. It found its niche and took off. Yeah, and then the problem is that's so small for me to read, though.
Yeah, and then Lou's bust out with the reason I'm still alive is because I've never been thinking about someone else's ass while I'm trying to save my own ass.
Right. So this is the book. So I just got these in the other day. Like, even Jose, when he saw them, he's, oh my God, I had those books. So this is The Sleeping Dragon.
Oh,
it's known as the Guardians of the Flame. Right. So it's a portal fantasy, or as the kids like to call them now, this is an isekai. Right. So it's a portal fantasy. And you know, like the realm. Right. Oh, by the way, speaking of the realm, which reminds me of Randy Zimmerman, which reminds me of Randy, we just also got his latest copy of The Atlantean. Fortunately, he always has he's been having a level where you can buy 2 copies. So Jose's been picking that up so that I make sure I get my own copy. So I'm really looking forward to, but you know, so yeah, so it's like all of a sudden I'm finding myself especially nostalgic. Right? Yeah, exactly. So I picked up The Sleeping Dragon. So I got 2 and 4 because it was cheaper for me to buy all 3 than to just buy this one book. Yeah, I know, right? So, you know, so it's like, and I was just like looking, you know, and it's like, And then it's like, it's really funny because I open it up, it's like, oh my God, it goes all the way to the spine here. What the fuck layout is that, But yeah, so I think I'm just going to like kind of pause on the other book and just probably read these instead. And there was like another book that I bought that I should be getting today too. Again, it's another book that I read when I was younger. Oh, because this was the other thing too. Oh my God, my brain is like all over the place today. I was watching a video about how important it is, and especially if you're writing like quirky fiction, but I'm trying to apply this to marketing Eagle Raven as well. That if you're writing something that's not exactly to market, you still have to find books that are similar that are being sold so that you can kind of like, yeah, I know, right?
Tiny. It was
But
tiny.
This is disposable entertainment. That's
Right.
just what it is. Like, what's the cover price on this? Hold on.
$4.99.
What is $3.95?
Oh, close.
$3.95. $4.95 is Canadian. So this was literally disposable, So yeah, so when I was trying to look up similar books that I thought, it was like, okay, that I could use to like explain Eagle Raven. Well, if you like, kind of like she said, think about your book, how it would look in an Amazon listing. People who bought this also bought. Right? So what would my also bots be? And then also that's also what led me down this rabbit hole. Because the only books that I could think of that I felt that Eagle Raven was similar to was a lot of the books that I read when I was younger. I have another, like one, and it's like trying to find, like Eagle Raven is not a YA book, but it has a lot in common with a lot of the YA books that I read when I was younger. And it was just like, so yeah, so I've been starting collecting these again because that one, I'm just like getting to a point where it's like, you know what, I don't know. Yeah, it's like I'm not really enjoying romantic books. They say you have to find existing comps to center your book around towards its audience. Yes, that's exactly right. So yes, I bought these books on eBay. So I'm just like collecting these books I used to have. What's really funny though? So the artist of this cover, let me see. Do they credit him on the inside? Usually, I think like, they didn't back in the day. No, back in the day, they didn't credit the artist. I think it's only in new editions do they do that. So the same artist that did this cover, he did a very specific cover to The Last Unicorn. That like an idiot I got rid of, right? Because you think that you think you could always get another one, right? You think that if that type of thing. Little did I know that copy of The Last Unicorn with this guy's art on it is like $50 on eBay.
Jesus.
Now. And I had that book, and like an asshole, I got rid of it. And it's like, maybe one day I'll pick it up. I'll just bite the bullet and pick it up. But because especially now that you see the shitty covers. If you look up The Last Unicorn 1980 Last Unicorn book 1982 on eBay, there is you'll see that cover from this artist. And yeah, it's like around $50 now for that book. Just for the cover. And that's the funny thing, because it's like covers. I mean, really, we could do a whole show on this theory, this tinfoil hat theory that I have, that the reason why people are not reading as much now than they did back then is because publishers went away from painted covers. Because how exciting was it to go to a bookstore and look at all the covers, all the painted covers when we were looking, and then it's like, the cover is, you can't judge a book by its cover. Yes, you can. Because that's how we bought our books.
Right.
Now everything is like shitty clip art, or just like just like straight graphic design text on it. And it's like, there's nothing really about it that kind of makes me go, ooh, I need to read that book. Like I remember seeing this cover and going, I need to read this book. But now it's like, now it's all like really crappy. Like to see, like if you see that painting of the Last Unicorn from 1982, and then you look up a contemporary edition of the Last Unicorn, you'd be like, what the fuck is this?
And good luck finding one in good condition.
Right, exactly. And the shit is still $50.
Yeah, right.
And it's like, now they just use, like, you would think that they designed the cover in Canva or something. They use like just kind of like clip art elements and go, oh, here's the cover, to the book. And it's like, whatever happened to this? Like, yeah, I'm sorry that this cost money to do, but it made your product more interesting.
Right.
It made, 12-year-old me go, yeah, we're going to get this. We're going to get this. We're going to get this. Right. Like Mercedes Lackey talked about how whenever, I forgot the name of her artist, but she draws, like whenever they didn't have a painted horse on the cover, sales dipped. Like the sales of her books, she actually lost sales if there wasn't a painted cover of a white horse on her books. So yeah, the art really does sell the books, but yeah, it's like, it's like, like I said, it's like my thoughts are all over the place today, because like I said, it's like I have like a lot going on, and and it's just like, that's the one.
Okay.
That's the one. And it's like, I don't understand why there's certain books that I kept, but that one I didn't keep. And it pisses me off so much to see that book go for so much on eBay. But yeah, so yeah, in the end, and I told Jose this, right, about it's like, yeah, I don't know what is it with these romanticy books that, I don't know, they just feel clunky, and and this, that, and the other thing, and Jose goes, that's because they're badly written. And it's like, like I would hate to admit to something like that, but the thing is, though, it's like, yeah, like if this Dragon War book that I'm reading, like if she had decided to just write a fantasy and kind of like calm down on the romance elements of it, or at least kind of like give it its own breathing space, that maybe I would have liked it better. Yeah, I know. It's like, it's like there's another series.
Or worse, the thing that gets me the most is they'll fucking have a great book series, and then they'll turn it into a Netflix series or something like that, and then you can only find the fucking characters.
Oh, right. Yeah.
I fucking hate that shit. Like we were watching You, and like I realized it was a series, and I went to go find the fucking books.
Right.
And it was all I was like, nah, I don't want this shit.
Yeah, because they want to make sure that they make that connection between the audience and and the books that it's based on. But it's it's like,
I found one for 26, but it's like I'm still looking.
I mean, it's like, so it's like, so yeah, you see, because the funny thing is also is like good condition is also relative, because after all these years, like these books, like I said, I bought the 3 of them for $12, but I think their condition, they're not new.
Right.
But I think that they're the equivalent condition of what they would look like if I had kept them all these years.
Right.
So I'm okay with that. The fact that, this is a little creased or something, it has shelf wear, but it's like, this is how it would look like if I kept it. So, I'm okay with that, but yeah, it's just like, yeah, I don't know. So yeah, so I might be going back into my childhood fantasy era, if you catch me reading Clan of the Cave Bear, then we know we've come
Oh
full
my
circle.
gosh.
Or VC Andrews, the little flowers in the attic.
Dude, I started looking through some of. I put a few of the Beyond the Attic series in there.
Right.
There's some of my cart. I'm just curious, man.
Right. Yeah. But yeah, I think because I was trying to remember like the Clan of the Cave Bear series. I think I never got past. I think Mammoth Hunters. I don't remember if that's the third or fourth book. Because like there's Clan of the Cave Bear, the Valley of the Horses,
Right.
Mammoth Hunters. But I think there was one more book before that. And it's like I didn't go past Mammoth Hunters, But yeah, it's like I was reading that, in my early teens, So because it's kind of funny when I hear people kind of like lose their shit over like what's in YA books now, and it's like, oh, we didn't have to read YA back then. YA.
I'd go and check out just enough Sweet Valley High to make my mother happy, and the librarian hooked me up.
Right.
He was great.
But yeah, so this is a rather random vlog.
I love it like that.
So I guess, okay, moral of the story. Gachapon. Right? Get a gumball machine, put it on the table, sign people up for the mailing list for them to get a turn and
to get a turn in your box.
Right.
Look how good I am.
There you go. Professionals.
I'm very professional.
So yeah, so I'm gonna look a little bit into that whole thing. It's like, okay, it's like I said, it's not quite an event. It is a gimmick. Definitely it is a gimmick. But in the end, I think the idea is to get people to sign up for the mailing list, and then, I think I'll be good. It would be funny if I could find hollow dice though. Kind of like, like the little case, but it's shaped like a dice, and then put, because then it would kind of like be like that fantasy related something.
Right.
Instead of just being, I would have to look it up. There has to be something more than just Easter eggs.
Oh, well, sure there is. I mean, sure.
Yeah. So any final thoughts about
I'm good. I'm good.
Right.
I don't need final thoughts. I had my thoughts sporadically throughout.
That's true. Yeah, that's true. So thank you so much, everybody, for joining us in the chat.
Yes! Fuck! Shit. I'm trying to be so good.
Right. Well, that's what the chat's for.
Encourages my behavior.
It's the chat,
Dig around in there.
They're cheeky.
And find the treasure.
They're cheeky. So thank you so much, everybody in the chat, for joining us today and kind of like putting up with my random thoughts on this random Friday. It is Friday, right? Yeah, it's Friday.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I forgot. And thank you so much to all the beautiful eyeball people who could have been anywhere else but decided to spend that time with us. Thank you so much. And if you are just finding the show for the first time today, sorry. We're sorry, but I can't say it gets any better, but we try to be entertaining anyway. So if you want to learn more about me and my artwork and all my other things, find out what I get to find on Amazon for Baltimore. You can head on over to my main portfolio site at egoworks.com. That's EGOWORKS, where you can find links to all of my galleries and social media sites, but I mostly post to Facebook if you're interested in seeing sketches and current work in progress updates. And remember that you can also catch me on YouTube as well for an archive of 600 plus videos on how I make my artwork, back live streams if you missed anything, and my semi-weekly art live streams Wednesdays at 4 p.m. Eastern. It's usually about every alternate Wednesday at 4 p.m. 2 hours of me just working on whatever and hanging out with the chat. If you think the conversations are random here, they're even more random on that show. It's kind of like being at a convention without you having to worry about blocking my table.
Bring your own drugs.
Yeah. So again, that's on that's on approximately every alternate Wednesday at 4 p.m. Eastern. And remember, you can also read Eagle Raven, Air the First Unicorn, for free, uploading every day, Monday through Friday. But if you prefer your fantasy to be more of a furry Lord of the Rings adventure, you can follow the link to Tall Tales. That's TAILSonline.com. And not only can you read the first 20 issues of Tall Tales for free, but you can catch up on the latest story arc, Tears of the Mother, which is also currently uploading Monday through Friday. If you want an easier place to read Eagle Raven and Tall Tales, you could also read them both on Webtoon. Eagle Raven updates every Tuesday and Tall Tales updates every Thursday. I think Tall Tales is just finishing up issue 6, and we're just finishing up issue 5 with Eagle Raven. Thank you so much to everybody who follows the books there. So thank you so much again for joining us. And, it's like, look, we tried to keep it on comics, on topic, but, sometimes we try, sometimes we fail. But, at least, like I said, we try to be entertaining, at least. And in the words of the ancients, eat your food, moisturize, mind your business, and do the work. Because when you actually do the work, you never have to fake any of your accomplishments. Thank you so much again, and we'll see you next time.
Fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. You're cool. And fuck you, I'm out.